Good morning, everyone. On behalf of SA Engineering College, Dharmanadu Education and Charitable Trust, I welcome our beloved correspondents, sir, respected advisors, sir, respected principals, sir, honorable chief guest, faculty member, and my dear students. A warm welcome to everyone to this event. I would like to thank our management correspondents, sir, for giving their consent to organize this wonderful workshop. Thank you, sir. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we gather for this special workshop on the art of selling construction materials. We are incredibly fortunate to have with us a distinguished guest who someone is a vision and leadership of shaping the future of our industry. Our chief guest today is going to be Mr. Balasubramaniam Mohan, CEO, Seed Consultants, Chennai. Sir is about to have an expertise in sales and marketing consultant with over 24 years of expertise in sales, distribution, and business growth within the construction and home improvement sectors. Proven track record in revenue generation, market expansion, and leading high-performing teams. Used to adapt at leveraging market insights to drive strategic partnerships and operational excellence. His core competencies include sales and distribution strategy, market trend analysis, business development, revenue growth and profitability, sales operations management, strategic partnerships, team building and training, negotiation, and client relationship management. Please join me in extending a heartfelt welcome to Mr. Balasubramanian Mohan, COC Consultant Chennai, with our workshop today. Thank you, sir, everyone, for joining with us. Sir, the session is handed over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Very good morning to one and all. Uh, I'm sorry I
Yes.
could not see all of your faces, but probably at the end of the session we'll be seeing one another. The title given today is The Art of Selling Construction Materials. We all are engineers, right? So why did engineers choose an option of selling? Why did they wanted to become a marketer? That was the biggest question you must be having in your mind when they declared this title for you. It was like instead of going for an engineering core subjects, why do I need to learn about the selling and how it's going to help you, right? This is what will be running in your mind, right? So I'll tell you my real life experiences. I was also an engineer. I'm a BE graduate from College of Engineering, Hindi. But still, I was in the site for 7 years, 8 years. I was into project management. I was standing in the site, using all my energies for project management and standing in the sun and rain for years and months. But there was a spark coming in my mind that someone said to me that you can pursue your skills into marketing. Being an engineer, you can turn into a marketer. Even I'm an introvert, I didn't believe in that. But still, someone said it, I tried it. And that's become a part of my life afterwards. But still, I have a strong feeling that engineer should also have the selling experience, or rather, seller should have an engineering experience or expertise in that. That is how it helps us. Let us see that how the selling helps for an engineer, or if at all a seller being an engineer, what will be the advantages of him to get into better salesmanship. So an engineer turning into a salesman, and how it could be helpful for him just because of being an engineer. So in today's session, we're going to see about the sales perspective of an engineer with respect to two industries. One is cement and one is ready mix. So both the areas where I work together. So why should an engineer sell? When an engineer having a technical expertise over the years and in-depth knowledge of what it is, what the product is, do you think that anybody else could be able to explain the product better than an engineer? No, no way, right? So only the person who knows the product better could sell the product better, could explain it to the customer better, could make the customer understand better way, because he knows, he's convinced with the product. So he knows in and out of the product. So he could easily explain it to others. That is why the engineers are better sellers, in fact, than to a regular MBAs. So you see a lot of opportunities here wide open in the industry. most of them are BE and BAs. They are from the core industry, engineering, or mechanical or civil, and they'll come back to the product selling there. They are being a very successful sellers in the market only because of this attribute. Because they know, we know that product, we know the product in and out of it. You question me how 100 questions about this concrete or cement, I know it because I'm an engineer by profession, by nature. That's my core area. Even though I turned out to be a marketer, that's my core area. Right. So we understand the product better. So when we understand the product better, we could able to solve the problems of the customer better. Right. And also it gives you the career opportunity and you have an high earning potential. I would not say that engineering is not the earning capacity is less, but still in marketing, you meet a lot of new people, you dwell with different kinds of people, with different societies, and you move along with the different cultural background. So you know you will be able to assess the people, you will be able to understand the people, and the your own self-respect will go increase when you become a seller because we meet a lot of people every day, right? The engineer could be an introvert, but the seller could not be an introvert. It's extremely different part. I could be an engineer, sit in an office or work in a site, just being an introvert. I don't want to tell anyone. I don't need to talk to anyone. I can just come sit my laptop, do this drawings or structural verifications and all, and I could be a better engineer. But if a seller is an introvert, he could not be a better seller. So both are different extremes, and how uh, useful it is to bring up all these two things is what very important, and that's what I've gone through in my life. So, if the role of an the role allows them to leverage their understanding of materials, not only to understand, also to solve the problems of the customer, and it gives you the career flexibility to go into bigger levels and also have an higher earning potential, right? So, the industry market, see, over a period of last 15, 20 years, a lot of innovations have been happening in our construction industry, especially. It's happening in all the industry, but still our construction industry, we have a lot of new products coming up. You might be seeing that new technologies are evolving. We have come through the reflective concrete. We have come through the recent innovation of printed 3D printed concrete. So a lot of new materials are coming up in the market, but who needs to sell? Somebody needs to sell it, right, to reach it to the customers. So the Indian market of the construction product materials, in especially across the globe, it's growing up to 4.0 percentage of combined annual growth rate. That means it's growing up in a bigger level. Especially in the Indian market, we are also close to this. We are about to 6 to 8% ahead of our global market. 6 to 8% of combined annual growth rate. So in 2030, it's expected to be 8%. Right now, we are about 6%. For all this entire construction industry market, the foundation is very simple. It's only steel and cement. So I would say as an engineer, we'll handle two major products, right? One is cement and second one is steel. We have actually three products that put together. One is cement and steel and people. We need to handle the people, we need to handle the cement, and we also need to handle the steel. This is what the core area of an engineer comes to. So when it comes to the 8% of CAGR in 2030, the core area, the core product will be cement and RMC, which comes into the basic or the foundation of any structure we built in across the different things. And apart from this cement and RMC, by the way, RMC, everybody, I think you know that RMC is ready mix concrete, right? That's a part of a cement product. So kind of a cement product. Let us go into detail in the coming slides. So as this product develops, we also have other materials, construction product materials like aggregates, bricks, glass, tiles, and thousands of material. You take window, you getting 10, 11 brands of windows. You go to any tile shop, 15, 20 tile shop. We have a tile manufacturer here. We have a product manufacturer here. Earlier, we were depending on China for the tiles market, but right now we started manufacturing in our own. We have a plant in Chennai, close to Tambaram. So the global market is expanding, and it's also other way shrinking. So we have all the products there within close proximity. So we started manufacturing it. like tiles, glass, or whatever the small materials, bricks, asbestos sheets, blocks, aluminum cables, everything in the metal. So products are there, but there are people who knows the product is very less. So engineers are the core market target for the companies who wants to sell the product across the country. So we as an engineer, where do we work on? This is called the Maslow's theory, the hierarchy of needs. So every person will have a need, right? So Maslow basically categorized these needs into five. So one is the physiological need, that comes to the very basic need of any human being: food, water, shelter, sleep, and sex. Right. The next comes safety needs. We human need to have a sense of security. We want it to be very safe. So that's the reason why we built houses. Earlier we were staying in the dens and mud houses. Now we wanted this to be very safe, so we started building concrete structures. And the next one is the social needs. We also need to have a relationship needs, like kind of a family, friendship, social, societal needs, right? We need to go move along with the neighbors, move with the people, public gatherers. And in the workplace, we move with others. This is a social need. And esteem needs. Okay, all this given, both the basic needs, physiological, safety, and social. Then what comes next is I need the sense of recognition from the society, and that will give me the self-confidence, right? I wanted to seek an attention. Being an attention-seeking person, every human is an attention-seeking personality. So we need to somebody to notice us, to understand us, to recognize us. That gives me a lot of freedom, a lot of pride, right? So esteem needs is another need. And after all, we have a self-actualization needs at the end. That's what we call it as self-satisfaction. Right? These are the needs based on the theory of management. So when Maslow says that we as a civil engineer, basically, we are giving the product to what kind of a need of a human being. Anybody could answer? I think everyone's muted, right? Anybody could hello? Okay, fine. Let me continue. So we basically have the fulfilling the basic needs. One is the physiological needs and the safety needs. What is the physiological needs? Sleep comes into physiological need. So you need the right place for the sleep, right? So you need a house. You need a close shelter. That's a physiological need, in fact. And next is safety need. You need a place for security. House is also the place of your security and your well-being. So physiological and safety needs. So we as a civil engineer, we deal with the product. We proudly say that we deal with the products that are building the needs of very basic needs of any customer, any human being that lives in the globe. So we have to take a pride in saying that unless civil engineers are there, the basic needs of humans could not be satisfied. So we are at the very basic level of building the humans, right? So we should understand that we are working on the concrete. Normally, in industry, they say, no, a doctor can kill one person at a time, but an engineer can kill several at a time. It was a famous saying in the industry, you must be knowing it, because if a doctor makes a surgery bad, only the patient dies, it's only the one person. But an engineer, if he designs something, big structure, in a small mistake, when it collapses with the cost of the human life in hundreds of thousands, right? Any building collapse happens, and you see in the news, any building collapse happens, that kills at least minimum 100,000 of humans, right? You design a metro, something happens wrong, what will happen? Gone. Everyone's gone. But that's what the value of an engineer is much more than anybody in the society. I'm not saying other professions are not so great, but still we have to take a pride that we are an engineer and we are there for the nation building. So, and we also working on the very basic needs of the human welfare, right? And let us dive into marketing little bit, the very basic things. Since we're all engineers, I'm not going to push too much on marketing part, but at least we should know what the basics of marketing is. In marketing, they would say the 4 P's of marketing. These are the very basic P's of marketing, that is promotion, product, and place, and price. Let's come to the product first. What is product? Product is that have some features, and the quality of the product deals with the branding of the product and packaging, services, and warranties. Any product, anything you buy comes into these 4 categories, 4 P's of marketing. The next comes to the price part of a product, which is price strategy, how they are sold, what kind of uh, the price strategy they are following, what is the pricing they're going to keep, and what were the allowances and discounts, and what was the payment terms. This is about the price of a product. And place, the product has to be marketed. There need to be have some space for that. So that space is the place. So place also includes the market coverage. In general, we say it as a market. So market is nothing but the place where the product is pitched in. So it could go through the channels, right? That's channels, and how the market is covered, what was the geographical area that it has been covered, and how it is assorted, and the location of the product, the location where it sells, and how do they manage their inventory, and how the transportation is managed. So this is about place. And last part is promotion. How we do the sales promotion, where all the advertising agents we are going to do, how we are going to advertise the product. Because any product need to be reached to the customers, and advertising is the only way that it reaches the customers, and how it's going to be kept in the public relations, and how it will be directly marketed. So these are the very basic 4 P's of marketing of any product that could be sold to the customer. So here, as a civil engineer, we know about the product very well, right? Because we are engineers. Engineers know the product very well. But let us see the place and promotion part later. We'll deal with only the product and the price. Price, we are not commerce graduates. We are engineers. We don't know about the foundations of economics and all that. But we need to understand the pricing, basic understanding of the pricing. So that helps us to reach the product to the customers in a better level. Okay. So now, how do the customers get segmented? The customers are basically segmented into 2 types. One is B2B, and second one is B2C. B2B is nothing but the business to the business. When I have a product, I sell it to the business owner, it's B2B. When I have a product, that when I sell it to the individual customers, it is B2C. See, for example, if I say, I sell my laptop. Intel sells its laptop. Intel sells its laptop to the store, to the dealer. Normally, the chain comes like this. The manufacturer will sell it to the distributors. The distributors will sell it to the dealers, and dealers will sell it to the end customers. Only the B2C comes at the end of the chain, when the last person, the store near you, where you are going and purchasing the laptop, is B2C. That purchase is called B2C. And all the above channels are called B2B, business to business. The manufacturer sells it to the distributor. Again, the distributor is going to sell it again. So it's a business for them. So it's a B2B, business to business. The distributor selling it to the dealer. Dealer is going to sell it again. So it is B2B, business to business. The dealer is going to give it to the retailer. The retailer is also going to sell it again to the stores. So again, it's B2C. When the last store people who's selling it to the customer who wants to actually buy it, that's B2C. This is about the basic understanding of what the product is. B2B and B2C is. So what is the difference between selling these to B2B and B2C is, B2B business runs in volume, larger price, because they sell it to the wholesale dealers or distributors in mass volume. So it goes in higher volume, whereas B2C goes in a lesser volume and lower price, because it is reaching the end hand of the customer. So the volume could be high, but the price will be very low. B2B education and efficiency is important. We need to educate the customer technically, because we are dealing with the business person. So we need to be technically strong on that. We need to be very efficient. Whereas B2C, it needs to be pushed to the customer. The convenience need to be given to them, and it should be little entertainment. Like the reason why we are seeing ads is because of We are all B2C customers. We are B2C customers. So we need to be entertained. We need to be given about the awareness of the product and all. So entertainment and convenience is very important. When you have a store somewhere far from your place, you don't prefer to go there, right? Convenience matters there. So you find a store which is very close to you. That's why the companies make the retail stores or kind of experience store everywhere. The next one is interpersonal relationship. One is interpersonal relationship here, and here it is transactional relationship. Interpersonal relationship is nothing but when you know the selling happens continuously, you don't need to worry about it much. A relationship, when you maintain the proper relationship, you know. You would have seen in the small shops, the retailer coming and giving the material to the small shops. They don't even come and talk to them. They'll come and store the material there and they'll tell, I hand it over. Okay, we'll see the accounts later. That is how the selling happens in B2B. So relationship matters. When you know the person, sales happens over the phone call. Whereas in B2C transactional relationships, you need to talk to the customer, make them aware, understand them, brief your product very well to the customers. So this is transactional relationship. And B2B have the logics and features, whereas this one have the benefits and desires of the customer. B2B has the long-term goals of selling it for the long term, 5 years, 10 years, or at least a year. This one is very short term because once a customer buys it, then it goes, the deal ends. He's not going to come and buy the next laptop unless he's a repetitive customer. So this is the difference. It's a long-term selling, it is a short-term selling. The long sales cycle, and here it's a short sales cycle. So there's a difference of B2B and B2C customers. So construction material will fall into both the product segment, B2B as well as B2C. Even the very basic commodity of the construction material comes into both the areas. I'll tell you how it is. So now, key needs of B2B customers and B2C customers. What are the key needs? Reliability, price stability, timely delivery, tech support, and post-sales service. The very basic thing of B2B and B2C customers. So the biggest challenge that we feel is only the knowledge of the product and technical expertise to give the product to others. So technical sales is a challenge unless another regular sales. You sell a biscuit to someone, it's easy. You can just tempt them, find a person who's hungry, you can just sell it to them. But to sell a pen drive to a tech expert is a little difficult. You need to know what pen drive is and how it works, what was the speed of it, and what was the technology behind it, at least what was the advancements happening there in the pen drive industry so far, and how it could be useful for the customer. So technical sales is a very challenging, and it also requires a combination of different other skills like your personality, how you move with the people, and the knowledge of a product, everything. So we basically categorize into tech sales into 5 steps. One is a product knowledge. An engineer, especially civil engineer, he obviously knows it, but still you need to learn more about the product. So product knowledge is much important. And second is technical communication. He need to deliver it. I know so much of product knowledge. I know the IS codes, everything, but I need to take it and show it to my customer, communicate it to the customer in his language because he is not a technical person. He is just a house builder. I need to make him understand my technical knowledge in a simplest way to make him understand the product, right? And sometimes we need to demonstrate the product, right? Engineers need to demonstrate the product. Yes, what we do, you build a house, suppose. You go any smart bricklaying company, bricks, normally, how do we test the bricks? We take the bricks and throw it from the 3-meter height. If the brick doesn't break, it's a good, right? So just a normal brick with the mason's language, the normal day, it has been tested, it has been demonstrated to make a purchase, to make the product fit for the sale, right? So technical demonstration is very much needed. And then technical problem solving. What is problem solving? When the customer takes it, he'll obviously not going to use it at a moment, and it's not going to help him out. He'll have a lot of problems in using it. He might be not knowing it, how to use the product in his place. He would have purchased it, but he would have not known it. So you need to make the product uh, fit for him, make him customized, make the product customized to his requirement. So that is the technical problem solving. And finally, we learn again with the problem we solve. We also learn. So technical learning, we upgrade ourselves in the technical expertise. So I solve a problem, solve customer's problem, then I'll come to know that what is the problem that other customers could have. Or when I go for a next sale, what could be the customer's thought? What could be the problem he might face? Right? So we also learn through technical problem solving. These are the 5 major steps technical product sales happens. Right? So here comes the core area of selling cement and RMC. I'm sorry, the session I could not see you all and I could not ask you the questions and interact, but still I presume that you have a basic knowledge of cement and RMC. Anyway, let me also explain you in a very basic understanding for you to understand this. So, understanding cement and RMC. Cement, we know there are different types of cement. Cement is basically a binder, right? And RMC is nothing but the ready mix concrete. So both of the different products derived from the same product. So cement is a product and RMC is a product that has been derived from the cement, right? So now we're going to see how my technical knowledge has helped here to sell these products, or not only me, most of them. So cement, we have basically two different types of cements out there. OPC is ordinary Portland cement. PPC is Portland Pozzolana cement, and PSC, Portland slag cement. There are other types of cement based on the constituents it has. So OPC is nothing but the pure cement. We'll call it as pure OPC, ordinary Portland cement. PPC is nothing but the Portland pozzolanic cement. PPC, pozzolanic cement, what it is nothing but the fly ash, pulverized fly ash. When the fly ash is added to the cement, up to some extent where the codes allows 35% to the maximum addition of cement. So fly ash to the cement. So when the OPC, which has 35% of fly ash, it is called as PPC. And we also have the other product called PSC, Portland slag cement, which is having slag, Portland slag and OPC. So normally OPC is nothing but pure cement, and PPC is nothing but OPC plus maximum 35% of fly ash, and PSC is nothing but the maximum of 50 to 55% of slag to the OPC. This is the just basically understand this. You must be knowing it. Basically understand this for us to go forward. The difference now. What is the OPC is nothing but the limestone, the mixture of limestone of raw materials, aggregates, calcareous, and gypsum. Okay, whereas PPC is nothing but the pozzolanic material like fly ash or silica fumes. The strength is that the very initial strength of PPC is lesser, whereas in case of OPC, it is little bit higher strength. When it comes to heat of hydration, see, we as an engineer, before selling the product, we should be convinced. We should be convinced ourselves first. Before taking the product to the customers, you should be ready for the hundreds and thousands of questions customer asked. So you need to be technically very strong at that. So heat of hydration, when OPC is little higher, since it has the pure cement, there is no fly ash added to that. So heat of hydration is high. PPC, it has low heat of hydration. All this you would have studied in your cement chemistry or concrete technology papers, right? So you must be knowing it. Just I'm trying to review it. So durability, it has less and aggressive weather, but PPC is more durable because of its alkali silica reactions, and it counters the durability. It counters the other chemical agitations, right? So it is more durable. And the cost is a little bit costlier. OPC is little costlier, and PPC is a bit cheaper than the market. And environmental impacts, why we go to PPC? OPC has got emitting a lot of carbon emission right now. So industry is helping out to replace it with the PPCs. So applications is faster construction. It's nothing but very specific. But there are applications where both can be used. And for speeder construction, generally they would say they use OPC and the higher content of OPC. Setting time, OPC is little lower, a little higher, whereas PPC is little lower. It's 30 minutes to 280 minutes. The initial setting time is 30 minutes and final setting time is 280. But this is up to 600 minutes of final setting time for PPC. The fine is also differs because the basic material inside also have some changes, right? We have OPC and fly ash here. So for the pure OPC, it is 225 kg per square meter, where it is 300. It is little coarser. PPC is little coarser. And the grades available specifically is for OPC, there is 33 grade, 43 grade, 53 grade. You take any cement bag, it will have a grade on that. Whereas in PPC, in any blended cement, there is no grade provided for IS. Blended cement is blended cement. The workability is much lower than PPC, whereas this one is much higher. And OPC has the resistance, as I told you, chemical resistance and chemical attack. It is little higher. It is little lower resistant, and this is little higher. So we know the product now, the basics of what OPC is and what PPC is. Here comes the problem. I have a product, right? I have a customer right now. I have a customer. We have two customers right now, in fact. Retail customer, that is B2C. I'm going to sell it to the customer who's going to build the house. And where I'm selling it to the RMC customer, or you take any other project customers, where who buys in bulk, bigger volumes, we have a long relationship. We'll sell or the sales cycle happens again and again. It's like that. So now the place it is provided is two different, the B2B and B2C. And also in the industry, it is set up that the price of the cement differs. OPC 50 grade cement approximately. See, this is taken in the early of 2025. It's Jan-Feb of 2025. This was the approximate price range of different brands available in Chennai. So it is from 380 to 450 per bag. Whereas PPC cement is 330 to 400 rupees. There is a lapse of 20 rupees. OPC starts with 380, but PPC ends at 400 just because we are accumulated different brands and different category range. So it is like that. So now, what is the problem is, where do I sell OPC cement and where do I sell PPC cement? Because OPC cement is much higher. It's costlier due to high strength and faster setting. But in PPC cement, it is cheaper a little bit comparatively. Say if you say it is like on 50 rupees cheaper than the normal OPC cement. Where do I sell this? Anybody has the answers, but I know that we could not answer it right now. At the end of the moment, we'll see how we can see. So what I will do is I'll try to sell. Before that, I need to tell you that whatever the cement we are buying here in India in form of bags, when you go to the nearest hardware shops or cement dealer, you go see the cement bag. You wouldn't have noticed it so far. All that is either PPC cement or PAC cement, blended cement. PPC is nothing as we say. It is Portland Pozzolana cement, that is OPC cement with a fly ash. And the third one is PAC Portland slag cement, which is OPC cement mixed with a GGPS. So now we have the problem. Where do we sell this product? Now the PPC cement is a cement. It is only available in the form of bags. So when you build your house, anybody builds the house, you can check it. It's only through the PPC. OPC cement will not come in bags. So we are not using pure cement. You have to understand that you are not using 100% pure cement for the retail markets, retail customers. It goes to the different business segment. I'll tell you later. Now, PPC cement that comes to 330 to 400 rupees of per bag is being sold to you. But where do I sell OPC cement? That is for the RMC customers here. Because they buy in bulk, though it is costly, they know how to handle it, they know how to use it, and they are also having some other way to mix it with the fly ash. Normally, the retail customer buy the cement which is ready-made. He buys in bags that comes in a ready-made filled form. He'll mix it with the sand or use it as a mortar, or mix it with aggregate and sand and use it as a concrete, right? Whereas in terms of RMC customer, where they don't have a option of using it straight away, they have the equipments and machineries to blend. This is the picture you're seeing is a plant, ready-mix concrete plant. where we put sand and aggregate here. It will load it through the sloped uh, conveyor, and we have a, this is called silo. These silos will be filled with cement or fly ash, whatever. This could be probably one silo of fly ash and one silo of cement. So the B2B customers or the big customers, they'll buy OPC cement and fill it with one silo, and they'll fill fly ash in another silo. So here the problem is he could not blend. The retail customer could not blend the cement since you don't have the facility to do it. But whereas in case of a B2B customer, he has the facility, he has got a plant with him. So he can blend it for his own convenience and for his requirements. Right? Whereas this one don't have that and this one have it. So in general perspective, we think that the big customers buys at lower price, right? But here it doesn't happen. Big customer buys at higher price, but he'll use the product in such a way that he'll give it to his customers at the lower cost. That is where the dynamics are. And now see, we have the OPC customer. He buys it for 300 to 400 rupees, 330 to 400 rupees. Let us say he buys it at 330 rupees, right? He buys it at, sorry, OPC customer buys it 380 rupees, least price of 380 rupees. Now, I'm sorry, 380 rupees. So he blended with a 35% of fly ash here and he sells it to his customer as a concrete. So what do? He gets a better benefit. Instead of buying it as a mixed pre-blended form or a mixed material, he buys it as a pure cement and put it in the silo. He blends it on his own and he sell it to the customers in the blended form. This is how the cement structure works. So retail customer buys it in a little higher prices, whereas in the wholesale customer buy it at higher prices, but he blends it, and he handles the material in such a way that he sells it to the end customer at the higher prices. So he benefits more, right? This is about the cement where you need to understand how the dynamics of prices works with the different customers. And you can't pitch the OPC cement to the customer. Why? Because we don't have the facility to give it to them. We don't have the back form of cement. It comes in bulker forms. These RMC customers buys in bulkers. I'll tell you how the bulkers is. This is the RMC. You must be seen in nearby houses where they use RMC. They buy in the big bulkers that goes to this RMCs. Whereas retail customers don't have the form of buying it in bulkers or storing or keeping it. So one is the package. Package restricts retail customers to go with only PPC cement, and the package helps these RMC customers to go with the OPC cement. And second is the product dynamics. Product which he is using and product which he is using is different, and the price dynamics is also varies. Right. Now I think some of you would understand what basics, how it works, cement works, right, and where it goes. So in this case, just a selling is not important. We need to understand the science behind or technical factors behind the RMC, how the product is mixed, how the product is sold, who are all his customers. We need to understand what cement is, what fly ash is, how much codes allows you to mix, and how much he can make it, all these factors. So technical knowledge is important, very much important in selling this. Right. So here the other one, second one is RMC sales. This is RMC. RMC is nothing but the ready-mix concrete. A pre-mixed concrete blended form manufactured in a central batching plant according to the design mix and that was required by the customers and delivered in a customer site. This is called a transit mixture, delivered through this transit mixtures. Nowadays, it's very common that you see these transit mixtures everywhere in the roads, right? It has become a big traffic nuisance. In fact, the country is growing. We see a lot of developments happening, especially in a country like India or places like Tamil Nadu. We see metros are coming up, large metros are coming up. Chennai is dug up everywhere. A lot of traffic is piled up because this everywhere the diversions happens. All this because of this construction activity. And you see more than the cars, these vehicles, these transit pictures are more in the roads at any time of the day, right? So This is what is called transit mixtures, and this runs all over. Once the number of transit mixtures runs over the row, that means your area is growing. That shows a sign that your area is growing. Somebody is building, or some infrastructure company is doing the work. Your country is developing, your place is developing. Okay, it's a sign that it may look little hard for you to take it up, but still it's a sign that your place is growing. So now come back. Ready mix concrete is what this is what the ready mix concrete. They buy the cement, they buy the fly ash, they buy the other GGPS or other materials, and they blend it with the aggregate, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, sand, water. They blend it with the required terms as per IS 456, and they'll sell it to the customer in a mixed form. Why do they use it? They use it because they have a place constraint. They don't have the place to store the cement, sand, and aggregate here. They have a time constraint sometimes. We don't have time, we need to finish up fast. Due to the environmental constraints, probably the neighbor would not allow him to keep the materials there. That makes this environment very dusty. Or some other, probably the financial benefits. So instead of buying cement, sand, aggregate, and getting the labors for that to mix, it is rather must be cheaper for in this area uh, to buy it in a blended form and using it. So there are different constraints that makes the customers to buy. Right now, here, what are the grades? We need to understand the basic product. I told you, the four P's of marketing. First is product and price. Only these two, if you understand in a better way, the rest remains will be taken care by the company itself, the promotion and product segmenting. So now the grades, we all know, we are all engineers, we all know there are different types of grades of concrete. See, the types of cement is different and the grade of concrete is different. Types of cement we see for the OPC cement, it comes to a OPC 33, OPC 43, and OPC 53 grade. There is a three grade of cement, right? Right now we are using it in India as per the IS standards. But whereas in case of grades of concrete, the grades of concrete is nothing but the characteristic compressive strength that that is achieved at the end of the 28 days of the cube, when the 150 mm of cube is broke in your compressive testing machine. The strength that need to be achieved at the end of 28 days is called the characteristic compressive strength. For M5 grade of concrete, that should be 5 at least. For M7.5, it is 7.5. It is similar to that. So for your better understanding, I gave the mixed proportion of cement, sand, and cement, which is normally used at the ground level, whereas in industry, we use the grade of concrete in a weight. That's called weigh batching, and this is called a volume batching. Weigh batching deals with the product that we weigh the material. We weigh cement, aggregate, and sand separately, and we batch it with the weight of the respective material. But whereas in case of a volume batching, they say in volumes, 1 part of cement and 5 parts of sand and 10 part of aggregate. This is how they proportionate it. That's called volume batching. Although we are not going to use it for volume batching, just for your understanding, I put this slide. So the grade of concrete is nothing but the characteristic compressive strength that achieved in 28 days by testing. So right now we have a different grades, and we also see here M15 and M20 of concrete. See, in the case of M20 of concrete, it is 1.53, 1.5, 3 normally they call it as cement, sand, and aggregate. The first part is cement, and second part is sand, and third part is aggregate. So 1 part of cement and 1.5 part of sand, and third part of aggregate, 3 parts of aggregate. That gives a characteristic strength of M20. So all these concretes will have a different places where it could be used, but still it is like we have one moment. Yeah, uh, excuses. So now it is like 1.5. So 1.5, 3 M20 grade of concrete. So now let us see what it is. See, I'm showing you the mixed design of a product. It is a real-time mixed design used for some customer in 2012. I want you to understand what the concrete is basically. Well, unless you get the understanding of what it is, you won't know what it is. One excuses. So you have the understanding. To have the understanding, I'll show you. Just concentrate on this part of it. Here you see the first left-hand side mixed design report. It is a you see it is like M20 grade of concrete. Here also it is like M20 grade. So both the sheet represents the grade of concrete as M20. Unit weight of this one that could vary between 2,300 to 2,500. See, here it is 2,390, and whereas here it is 2,435. That's a small variation. It's fine. And other parts like slump, everything is fine. And the compressive strength here, see, it is 20 MPa, whereas here it is same 20 MPa. But the significant difference is this. Here they use 240 kg of cement, and we have a mineral additives, fly ash of 90 kg, right? The ingredients are different. 240 plus 90, 240 kg of cement and 90 kg of fly ash. But the same strength has been achieved here also in the second right-hand mixed design. You see, there is no fly ash here added here. You have only 300 kg of cement. This is OPC. So, for your understanding, the right-hand side mixed design shows the mixed design of a pure OPC cement, or left-hand side is showing a PPC. We call it as PPC because since the fly ash is added. So, you must be having an idea that how much of fly ash could be added to this cement. We have seen it's already 35% of fly ash can be added to the OPC cement as per the IS recommends, right? So the 90 kg of fly ash is added here. So 35% within the allowable limit is added here, whereas in this one nothing is added here. So now comes the price part of it. No, the cement price varies. We all know that cement price varies. Cement price varies like gold. So every month or every year, there is no fixed term. Anytime that could change. Probably let us keep a month, 1 or 2 months once, it could vary. Approximately, let us keep a cement price of 6,500 per metric ton, right? And GGBS, before that, I'll tell you what GGBS is. GGBS is similar material that could have be used as a fly ash. Like it's a ground granulated brass furnace slab. It's a supplementary cementitious material, basically. Technically speaking, it's a supplementary cementitious material. Fly ash is also a SCM, supplementary cementitious material. But here I'll show you how to sell this GGBS to the customers who is blending this cement and fly ash. Suppose a customer, the product itself is different, right? We have a product that is 3,200 rupees, 3,350 rupees priced, and we need to compare it with the product that is 750 rupees. How do we do that? You are almost close to 4 or 5 times higher than that, right? How do we sell this? How do you sell this? It's very difficult, right? You sell the product to a customer buying 1/3 price of another product. How do you do it? There's a huge price difference. Huge price difference. But you know one thing? We are engineers. Again, we know what it is. We know how the product works. The product could be handled. So here comes this price difference could be handled. Because we know we are all having the understanding of the product. IS 456 says 35% of fly ash could be added, right? For any OPC as per the limit. But whereas GGBS could be added up to 70%, the same IS 456 recommends 70% could be replaced. So the maximum is 35% for fly ash and maximum here is 70%. So using this principle, using this leverage that standard has given to us, we are going to work it. So let us focus on this. This is a little complicated part of it. Just for your understanding, I made it a little simpler for you to know it, right? See, here, cement price is 6,500, GGBS price is 3,350, fly ash price is 750. Just focus more on this. Follow me. Okay, let us break through into the basic rate of product, rupees per kilogram. So you break down this, take out the tax. OPC cost is 5 rupees and 8 paise, and GGBS cost is 3 rupees 19 paise. Fly ash cost is 71 paise. So you know that you are going to compete with the 70 less than 1 rupees product with your 3.2 rupees product right now. But we have an option here. See, this is the customer who sells OPC. This is a customer who needs OPC. We've seen recently the design mix. This customer use M20 grade of concrete with pure cement. The cost for, if it is a 5 rupees 8 paise, this could be 1,523. See, why do we consider only OPC here, or supplementary cementitious material? Is that the secondary materials change, like materials like sand, aggregate change? Yes, that also change, but primarily this is the product that going to change in a more way. Apart from this, you take any RMC, it will be like any concrete, it will be like close to 850 kgs of cement, sand and aggregate, close to 1,500 kg of aggregates, 10 mm and 12 mm put together. But where the primary component changes is cement for the grades. There will be a change, but it will be very minimal. That will not impact you in the mixed cost. In the case of other materials, only the cement impacts the bigger change in price. So we are going to sell it to the customers who is using OPC M20 and M20 grade at 25. So M20 customers, M20 grade, it is 300 kg. The price comes to 1,523 rupees. Whereas for M25, they use 320, because the increase of 20 kg will give you the grade of 5 Newton per mm square. So for M25 customers, 25 requirement, it is 320 kg of cement is being used. So the price comes to 1,625. Now, this box is OPC mix, and similarly, this is PFA mix. Here, see the same mix. OPC customer, PFA customer, he uses 210 kgs of OPC and 90 kgs of fly ash, right? So mix cost comes to 1,131, right? Similarly, for M25 grade, he used 225 kg of OPC and 115 kgs of fly ash, total 340 kgs of supplementary cementitious material, and the price comes to 1,225. Whereas in the case of triple blend is another form where we use all three materials. That could use 150 kg of cement, 95 kg of fly ash, and 65 kg of GGPS put together. So now here, for this customer, for suppose a customer wants OPC, buys a OPC of 1,523, will I be able to sell this 1,131 to him easily? There is a big difference of, what is the difference? 1,523 minus 1,131 is huge, right? Close to 350 rupees. It's a huge difference. The same difference applies here, but let us not see the fly ash mix, blended mix together. Let us make it little simple. Even with the M25 customer, where he buys 1,625, here it is 1,225, 400 rupees difference. Even with the blended form, the difference is huge. Where a customer uses 1,225, when it's a triple blend, that is OPC, GGBS, and fly ash, it is 1,232. It is not a big difference, but still you have some difference there, 10, 15 rupees difference. But whereas in this case, if you use triple blend mixes, you will have a characteristic strength differences. You will have higher strength. This is how we handle it. See, there is a price difference here, 1,225 to 1,232 for a fly ash customer to the GBS customer. The fly ash mix to GGBS mix in the other ways, but still there is a 7 rupees difference. But we know, what do we know? We know that for general concrete it is 30%, and this is for 50%, and we have 70% allowed for the GGPS mix. The reason why it is, why we have seen the difference in the first slide, right? Blended cement will give higher strength. Blended cement will have low rate of hydration. Blended cements are more durable. Blended cements are gives you higher setting time, less setting time, and workability is higher. So this is how even the price goes up by minimum. You have an option. So this is how it should be worked out. This is how I worked out in my career, and make the customer understand what it is actually. The customer may not know all this. He'll just use it, blend it. He'll directly say, when you talk to the customer as a seller, if I was a regular MBA, without being a manager, without being an engineer, how do I compensate this difference? I would have struggled in this part, and I would have struggled and I failed in that miserably, because This is obviously, as a regular person, you see huge difference of selling this product. But being an engineer, I started working with all this, plot them, make it understand. Then there is a small clinch here, 7 rupees difference. But with the 7 rupee, even with the 7 rupees difference, I know this is much advantage. Like the blended cements are much advantage, the GGBS mixes are much advantages. So I was able to take my standards to the customer, take the difference of uh, codal provisions to the customer, get it approved, and handle the price objections. So I think almost we are about to close our session. We are like hopefully I've given some ideas of what selling is and how it helps the engineer to sell it more to the customers. And it is for you to ask the doubts. Since I have not seen your faces, I just want to see and want your feedback on this and more understanding. Any doubts, you feel free to ask. Sir, is it okay, sir?
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine, sir. Sir, first and foremost, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Balasubramaniam, for gracing us with your presence today. The valuable insights and thought-provoking concepts have undoubtedly inspired us all. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us, sir. I would like to express our gratitude to the faculty members and management for their unwavering support in organizing this event. Your hard work, dedication, and guidance have made this workshop a huge success. And to our wonderful students, thank you for your active participation and enthusiasm. You have made this event truly memorable. Thank you once again, everyone, for making this workshop a memorable occasion. Let us continue to strive for excellence in all our endeavors. Wishing you all a great day ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. I hope this helps the
Thank you.
students to understand what it is.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir.